welcome to my channel, Maze's Life, where I'm terrible at managing money, but trying to get better. So with today's video, I wanted to wrap up my 2025 New Year's resolutions. Spoiler alert, I failed massively, but yes, if you're interested in seeing how exactly I failed, how I did for 2025, please stick around. If you want to see my 2026 goals, I have uploaded 3 videos about my 2026 financial goals, as well as I created a bingo card and a vision board. I can have those linked down below. But other than that, let me stop rambling. Let me go ahead and get started. And again, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. So, this is going to be the end of the year update. So, I figured we just go through everything that I wrote down together and we'll mark them off together. So, if you didn't see my other videos, I just took a piece of planner paper out of a stacked notebook that I got from TJ Maxx. I just kind of filled it out with months at a glance on this side, and even with the yearly portion. And then with the reduce debt section that I kind of made my own, quarterly report section that I made my own, and then a monthly tracker that I made my own. I did not update or look at this at all for the third quarter, so we're just going to do the last half of the year right now. So, let's go ahead and mark off anything that I did and did not do. So back in April, I set the goal, or back in January for April, I set the goal to run a half-mile nonstop. I have not even attempted this goal. I left it on here unchecked and unmarked because I figured by the end of the year, I could attempt this goal. But during the summer months, I have a very hectic, on my feet second job. And then I had school, and then I just got lazy. So I did not attempt to run a half-mile nonstop. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that off for X, did not complete. As well, let me try a different color. And then I did the wrong thing, but oh well. Then run a mile nonstop in May. Obviously, if I didn't do a half mile, I did not do a mile. I had goals to reach a certain run goal. Not this year, maybe next year. I have been going to the gym. I haven't been running. It's a studio Pilates gym. But that can help me with my cardio so that way I can possibly attempt these goals for next month. All right, a low spend month in August. No, that did not happen. Did it? Hold on, what did I do in August? I did not do it. Failed that. Then go to a waterfall. No, I did not do that. September, check quarterly progress. So, because I did not update this tracker after the third quarter, I did not do that. Let me go ahead and do it now. So, I did say that I was burnt out. And if you watched my debt confessions videos, you would see that I was very burnt out because of what was happening at my second job, as well as what happened at my previous job working as a tax collector. Long story short, after working there for 4 years, full-time, going into the office, being one of the few people to actually go into the office and do work on behalf of my coworkers, the promotion was given to a guy who had been there a year, maybe less than a year actually, and then someone who was part-time working in LA, and we're here in the Sacramento area region. I don't live in Sacramento, but I work in Sacramento. And so it was like, okay, this is not for me. even though I've been here 4 years, that person's been there 1 year. I do not have anything against them. They didn't know they were getting a promoted. They did not apply for a promotion. They were just given one. The person that worked part-time in LA, I believe they did apply for the promotion. But again, I'm not going to hold out on them. They didn't select themselves. So I saw it as a sign to leave, and that's what I did. But then I got a call from an old coworker letting me know that they got promoted again. And tax collectors make much, much more than HR. And they have a higher salary cap as well. So yeah, I was burnt out. I lost motivation to pay off debt. You'll see in that one debt confession video, I barely paid off anything. Pretty much a net even. Well, I paid off $6, which was better than nothing. $6. I remember in September, I was going to completely stop paying off debt for the rest of the year. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. All right, and then lastly, I was going to take a debt payoff break in 2026. So all this happened in September, August, July, that course of 3 months, into July to early September. And so I wrote a list of everything that I wanted to buy, and I have the list right here. So I wanted to buy an Apple Watch. I've always wanted an Apple Watch, but I can't wear one because I'm allergic to nickel. I wanted to buy a fancy gym membership. I wanted a new phone.
I wanted to get a very expensive Patreon subscription membership to one of my favorite podcasts. I wanted to book an international trip. I wanted to get laser hair removal. I wanted to get a whole new wardrobe. I wanted to do some Botox lip filler.
I wanted to do a whole bunch of things. I wrote a very long list, and in September, I had started checking off those things on that list. So that's also why I was only able to pay off $6 that month. But that is what I mean by I was going to stop paying off debt for the rest of 2026, and I was going to take a break from stop paying off debt for 2025, and then I was going to take a complete break off of 2026. I had booked an international trip that was all exclusive and all expenses paid. So it's going to be around $7,000. Yes, so I had made plans. All right, so let me go ahead and check quarterly progress. A little late, but I did it, right? Pay off another card, check. Take accounting classes, yes, I did 2. Reach that 1 mile run goal, nope, absolutely did not. Then this one here, do a boyfriend-girlfriend out-of-town trip. I did that earlier in the year, so we're gonna go ahead and say check. I think I did that in February, and I did it in March as well. All right, apply for a new job. Yes, I actually started doing that in November. So I think the first one that I applied for was November 18th. Okay, so then this is where I massively failed. Meet all reduced debts goals. So here are the reduced debts here. So if you watched my last video, you will know that I made these reduced debt goals accidentally based off of a 13-month paycheck. Well, there's only 12 months in a year. So I needed to adjust these to be only 12 months worth of goals. And I did not. So if you watch my financial milestones video, you'll know what these amounts are. But instead of $18,383.02, it should have been $19,128.59. And on my financial milestone video, I had $19,909. So I did not accomplish that goal. For my personal loan, I did this incorrect because I did not account for interest, as well as I forgot that I had delayed my payoff date by a month. So this should have been around $1,024 plus some because I delayed it, but it still is a little bit more than that. So I'm going to go ahead and say no. I failed on that. My auto loans. So I did pretty much get there. So my auto loans, I did good. But that I knew what it was going to be at the end of the year. But I also knew that for the personal loan, I just didn't calculate it correctly. Then for my student loans, I also failed at that as well. So when I go down here to December and I say meet all reduced debt goals, I'm going to say no. What these amounts should have been and what they are now, you'll see in my financial milestone goal. Well, this is what they should have been right here. And then what they are now, you'll see in my financial milestone goal, but I don't want to focus on that too much. All right. Now, moving on. All right, now, sorry about that, had to sneeze. The next goal was to open a high yield savings account. I totally forgot about that goal, and so I still need to do that because I will be saving starting in January. I'm going to say yes, even though I haven't done it yet, but because that will be something that I do, I need to research. That's the thing. If you know of a good high yield savings account, I'm thinking Ally. There's also Wealthfront. I need to do a little bit of research to see what to invest within those. Or maybe this is not investment. This is just savings accounts. So, I'll most likely do Ally. I need to find some more research on it, but that one I will do tomorrow because tomorrow's Christmas and I'll have nothing else to do all day besides just lounge around the house and look up savings goals. All right. Next thing on the list is to check my quarterly progress. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. All right, so for December reflecting, I say that I found new motivation, mainly to this YouTube channel and being able to reflect on how far I've come. And then I also said that I'm excited to continue to pay off debt, which is a 180 from September. But I need to focus on my other goals moving forward. And those goals are in relation to my health as well as my spiritual biblical journey as well. So let me go ahead and check that off. Now for my yearly goals, reduce total debt every month. So yes, every single month of 2025, my debt decreased. Even that 1 month, I think it was September, where it only decreased by $6.71, it still decreased. So I reduced my total debt. Next, I had to pay off $20,000 of debt, which is the amounts that were here. And that was also the 13-month-long journey. So what it should have been, to be equivalent to have been completed in 12 months, it should have been $18,461.54. Now, I did not do that. And I don't know what went wrong, what I did wrong. All right, so I just double checked. I actually reduced my debt by $17,947.50. Now, I applied $19,000 towards debt. The only thing I can think of is moving around money. I'm miscounted somewhere, but I don't know where I could have miscounted $2,000. It would have had to have been a little bit every single month. Now that I'm thinking about it, there were months where I was still using my credit cards. At the beginning of the year, actually, it was just this past month was the first month where I'm only using debit cards. So at the beginning of the year, I was still using my credit cards. So somehow, using my credit cards, I added an extra $2,000 worth of debt, slowly, little by little, every single month without me even realizing it. And I don't know how much it was every single month, but I do know that since I still used my credit cards and I wasn't paying off my credit card balance every single month, I somehow accumulated $2,000 worth of debt, and I don't know where and when. But now I'm starting to get the wheels turning, and I'm figuring out how. So because of that, this goal to pay off $20,000 worth of debt, which again is actually $18,461, has been failed because instead, I'm doing so much, I only paid off $17,947. That is still a really good amount, and it's only about $500 away from the target, but it is something that I need to learn from, and I'm going to take the year 2026 to do better. So let's move on. So finish reading the Bible. So I did not finish reading the Bible. Have less than 30% interest rate on all of my credit cards with balances. And that one I did complete. So I'm going to check mark that off. And then start the year 2026 weighing less than 180 pounds. That's absolutely not. I won't even weigh less than 200 pounds. So that is the months at a glance with my yearly as well. And then let me just go ahead and fill in these monthly trackers. So for my monthly tracker, to stretch at least 10 times per month, I did not do that. The only time I did that was when I finally started working out, so in the months of November and December. I probably should have put that in pink. Yeah, November and December. Read the Bible every week. I did not do that. The only time I did that was in the month of January, February, March, April, May, June. The rest of the year, I failed. And I do go to church and I do go to Bible study every single week, but this was to read the Bible outside of those two events that I failed at. Walk or exercise at least 3 times per week. So I have to do that for my second job. And then I stopped doing that. Oh, I had an extra month. So when was that supposed to be? Over here messing up June, July. This is August, and this is September. I did not do it in October, but then I did do it in November and December while I was working out. Hopefully you can see that. Then do 1 new free activity per month. No. So I did extremely well the first half of the year, and then the rest of the year I did not do that except for in the month of November. What was that free thing? I have no idea. I can't remember. All right, and then to eat a salad every single week. So I eat vegetables. I have no problem eating vegetables. I actually really like vegetables, but I like my vegetables cooked. And so this was a goal to do so in, to eat a salad, to eat raw vegetables. and I did not do that in November or in December. I have had salads, but not every single week. All right, so that is it. That is the breakdown of my 2025 New Year's resolutions and goals. Thank you for following along. If you stay to the end of the video, I'd love to have you join this journey with me. Hopefully 2026 will be much better. As you can see, I'm ending 2025 early because I just made massive mistakes that I won't be able to correct by the end of this month. But if you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe, click the like, and leave a comment down below. My next video will be out tomorrow, and if you have any advice or suggestions in regards to the high yield savings accounts, please leave it down below, as I would greatly appreciate it. But other than that, thank you, and until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.